From Ashes. Chapter 23. The Present. I send a thank you note to Nora. Just a few lines ending with, Gabby loved it too. She said everyone who gave cake like that was a friend worth keeping. It's not exactly what she said. Something more along the lines of, she must really like you, Daddy, to make a cake like this. I left out any mention of the Daddy's got a girlfriend chant, too. I don't really expect to hear back from Nora. I left her so abruptly, so rudely, my heart all tied up in knots. And then she did this nice thing. I really do wish I could keep her as a friend. Maybe I wish for more, but I was surprised by how little I could talk about Rachel, how quickly my mouth and brain shut off, how sad it made me to hear the word divorce, sadder than thinking of her dying. And that just didn't make sense. Nora shows up at the house 2 nights later. Got your note, she says. How'd you get here? I asked. Unintentionally rude. Again. I'm sorry, I should have called. She glances back over her shoulder. No, I reply, reaching for an arm, holding her wrist. I wasn't trying to sound harsh. I'm so sorry. I was honestly just curious. She looks back at me, the fingers flying over her messenger bag, nervous. I have a friend whose mom lives up here, one of the guys from work, actually. He said he could bring me. That's nice of him. Do you want to go for a walk? She asks. Gabby is at Lacey's house for a post-carpool playdate. Sure, I say, grabbing my keys and locking the door. Is this really too much? She says, gesturing with her hands toward the street, my house, my showing up. The truth is that it's pretty normal, except we don't live in the same city and she doesn't have a car, which makes it feel a lot different, like a lot of effort, which makes it feel, I don't know, more intense. No, I say. That sounded like a question, she replies as we make our way down the street. I notice that she's wearing joggers, a t-shirt, and tennis shoes, like she intended to move while she walked. I'm still in khakis and my loafers. No, I say again, trying to make it more convincing to her, to me. Then, for reasons I could never fathom, I ask, why don't you have a car? We're walking past a park, practically jogging with how fast she's moving. She takes a sharp left and we veer onto a path. It's cloudy, almost misty outside, and not too many people are out. Before answering, she speed walks her way into a part of the path where the trees hang low and dark over our heads, where it's harder to see her face. Because I don't have a license. There's more to the answer, and I slow down under the trees waiting for it. Because? Because I never have. I left home at 17, hitchhiked across the state, got a job at a bar. But you were too young, she finishes for me. I know. I lied about my age. I lied about a lot of things back then. I swallow. Between the clouds, the setting sun, and the overhanging trees, it suddenly feels like night. Why? I ask. It's a jerk question. I don't even really want the answer because I know it can't possibly be good. Because my father abused me, had for years. He broke my jaw. She traces a line along her face that I've never noticed before. Sure enough, it looks like an incision made for a surgery. An incision she must have covered with makeup on most days. At the hospital, my dad told them I'd gotten drunk and fallen in the shower. He couldn't even just say I'd fallen. He had to add the drunk part. It wasn't true, she says. When I was finished at the hospital, well, there was this nurse, and she knew. She didn't say anything. She didn't ask for my story, but she could tell. After I'd healed, the doctor signed me out, and they were going to call my dad, but this nurse, she slipped me $300 bills and a bus pass, told me I needed to get out. Then she wheeled me to the bus stop at the front of the hospital. By the time my dad got there, I was gone. I move my mouth, but no words come out. Do you know I can't remember her name? I was on pain meds and things were all foggy. I could never contact her, never thank her. I don't even know what they told my dad or if she lost her job. I just rode that bus for 6 hours. Nothing more than a bottle of Tylenol and those $100 bills in my pocket. I needed a job where I could make money, good money, and a diner somewhere wasn't going to cut it. Why are you telling me this? I ask. Because I want you to know. It's all she says. But there's more. I feel it under her words. I want you to know before we dance around, sending notes, giving gifts, bouncing back and forth, maybe trying this out. I want you to know before you reject me. I want you to know all the reasons you should, so that it doesn't hurt when you do. All of that bubbling under her sentences that run together in a rush. I can't fully process it, can only think as her story rolls out. Do I want to know? But before I can even process that, my mouth seems to open itself and ask, and then? But a bar wasn't really a good idea. as anyone who isn't 17, a 17-year-old runaway could probably tell you. Men came every night. Sometimes they were good looking, sometimes they left good tips, sometimes they had grabby hands. Often they bought me drinks. And you drank those drinks. Yeah, she says, looking at me with her green eyes under those black shadowed trees. It wasn't the right choice, but everything hurt in a way that even a generous nurse couldn't fix with as much money as she could spare. Can you understand that, Aiden? Understand how everything could hurt so much? I shake my head no. I can sort of imagine it. It hurt when Rachel died so much, but not in this way Nora is describing. Rachel's death hurt for the sweetness of our life. Nora's hurt, though. It was an acidic thing, burning on top, then burning its way down in layers, never knowing when, if, it would stop. Something I haven't had to understand in my lifetime. That's an honest answer, she says, reaching out and touching my wrist. She leaves her fingers there, and I feel the warmth, the fire even, of her fingertips. I notice her curves in the shadows, the way the outfit hugs her. My throat feels thick. There was one guy, maybe 25, I don't know. He worked at the Toyota factory and always came in Friday with a wad of cash. He liked me, and I liked him. He had brown eyes, curly wild hair, sharp features, even good teeth. She laughs a hard laugh, touching the line of scar along her jaw. He always bought me drinks, even took me to a movie a couple times. That was high courtship in my mind. And then one weekend he came, said he had to move, wanted me to come. Do you know I didn't even ask why? You were 17. I was worse than 17, she says. I guarantee that at 17, Gabby will know to ask why. I realize she's no longer holding my wrist, that my fingers have slipped down and are wrapping through hers. She nearly pulls back. I can feel it. And then she doesn't. I found out the reason later why he had to move. He'd lost his job because during a routine check, some dogs found meth in his locker. I didn't know that, but you know what? It wouldn't have mattered if you did. She almost cries then. I see the tears spring into her eyes, the way they get red around the rims, and that red makes the green so much brighter. I was ready to leave that bar anyway, those grabby men. I was ready for a change, but this was the wrong change. We moved close to here, to this city. I raise my eyebrows, a little surprised at the detail. You got a job with Joe? I ask. Not even close, she replies. I didn't get a job at all. Neither did he, which makes you wonder how we lived. He bought a little trailer on the outskirts of town. He had some money saved from his job. After that ran out, we lived by lying. We lived by stealing. We lived a meth life of meth people. She breaks from my hand and holds out her arms. I told you they were scarred. Oh no, I say, letting my own arms hang limp. It's not something I'm proud of. Nothing I did in those years is something I'm proud of. It just is. And how did you get out? Why did you get out if you were caught up in that life? Do you know that meth makes people paranoid sometimes? They'll be coming down off a high and suddenly think that everyone is out to get them. I nod. I had been a firefighter after all. My work had led me to addicts and their sometimes burning houses on a regular enough basis. They were horrible patients most of the time, mean, empty. The memory of it makes me step away from her. Those were not good calls. He was coming down one night, started screaming at me, pulling my hair, calling me names, terrible names. I'd been called those names before by my dad. They might not have been enough to shake me up, but he had this old gun in a case. He took it out, started waving it around, said he was going to kill me dead, a lying, cheating girl like me. Then he loaded it up, held it to my neck. I don't know how long. It felt like nothing and forever all at once. Maybe it was. She stops in her story, sits down on a bench, like she's done, like the memory has worn her out and she won't go on. I sit beside her. I can't figure out if I want to wrap her up in a hug or get up and run away. I settle for something middle of the road and sit, stiff and straight, against the bench. The birds are settling in for the night, and every once in a while, something that looks like a bat, but might be a swallow, swoops into one of the trees. I didn't talk as he held that gun against me. It wouldn't have helped, but after who knows how long, he took the gun off my neck, started pacing around, swearing, throwing stuff, and then, like addicts do after a high, he fell into a deep, long sleep. She doesn't look at me, just keeps talking. I still had $100 bill. I'd saved one from the nurse, hadn't needed it. I took the earliest bus I could and checked myself into a mental institution. And him? He shot himself the night after I left. I lean over, put my head in my hands. I look like I'm grieving, but I'm trying to remember the call. I would have been working then. It would have come out from dispatch. Police and EMS would have taken it, but we might have gone too if they needed support. Gunshot wound, probably to the head, self inflicted. But I can't remember it, or even hearing about it. There are too many like it, some meth head with a gun in a trailer. It's a story on repeat. Not like Nora's story at all. She isn't dead in a trailer with enough drug in her veins to wreck a train. She is here now with clear skin and lovely eyes and red hair and white teeth. White teeth, so square, so perfect. Not like Rachel's crooked eye tooth at all. Did your dad knock your teeth out, I ask, or that boyfriend? The question surprises her. Me too. I'm sorry, I say quickly. I don't know why I said that. It was rude. She shrugs. Neither. The drugs ruined them. And then when I had enough money, I paid to have them fixed and replaced. She closes her mouth, smiles with her lips sealed. My wife is a dentist, I say. I always notice teeth. She nods, and I know I've made her insecure. And then she presses her lips together like she's made a decision, stands. Thanks, Aiden, for listening. I just wanted you to know. She pulls her phone out of her pocket, sends a text, I'm guessing to her friend. You're not going to tell me about your recovery? She smiles. It's still crooked and I still like it, but one side is almost drooping into a frown. I can tell you don't really want to hear it. Why do you say that? Because it's true. Is it true? Why wouldn't I want to know about her recovery? Why did I let her tell me all the ugly parts of her story and not the beautiful ones? Of course I want to know, I insist, but then my own phone buzzes. Oh shoot, I say, Gabby's friend's mom is dropping her off. I've got to get back. I reach out, squeeze her hand. She squeezes back, but it's just to be polite, that squeeze. I take a few steps away, then turn back. My wife got cancer in her uterus. She had it way before either of us knew it. She found out before I did, and she didn't tell me. And it's one of the greatest sadnesses of my life that she didn't tell me. Thank you for your story. It's a big story, a story for a woman I doubt I can date. Still, I'm thankful to have heard it. She seems thankful to have said it, to have gotten something out into the air. But she's sad too. Sad that I don't want to know the rest. Maybe I'm sad about it as well, but I'm getting another text from Natalie and don't have time to think about it. We hurry back to the main road, both of us silent. A car rounds the corner, slowing to pick her up. Take care of yourself, I say. I will, she replies. And I can tell it's true, a promise she made to herself. Part of the recovery I'm afraid to find out about. Gabby's waiting on the porch when I get home, arranging leaves on the steps with Lacey. So sorry, I went for a walk and lost track of time, I say to Natalie through the window of her car. No worries, she replies, waving Lacey over to the car. Did you have fun? Fun? I ask. On your date? Oh, I wasn't on a date, just a walk. She looks at my clothes, my loafers, and shrugs. You're driving the girls tomorrow, right? Right, I say absently as Gabby and Lacey tear themselves away from each other in the way of second grade girls. I fumble with my keys in the darkness, and Gabby asks me the same question. Did Nora come? Did you have fun? How do you know she came? I asked. You never go for walks, she says. We just talked, I say. About what? Oh, life. Did you get her cake recipe? Gabby asks. Me and Lacey want to try it and take it to Miss Farr for the Halloween party. I shake my head. Oh, honey, that's sweet, but it's not a very easy cake to make. Maybe we can just buy something. Buying, it's not very special, she says with a pout, her green globes of eyes swimming in that small face. I rub my neck, trying to work out a knot I didn't notice earlier. Well, we can do something else. Oh, Daddy, she says suddenly. Did you break up? She hugs my waist and I lean down and lift her up. She's getting heavy, the gangly legs always dangling. Oh, Gabsy, I say, we didn't break up. We couldn't. We were just friends. Breaking up with friends is even sadder, she replies, wrapping her arms around my neck and squeezing like crazy. I squeeze back, realizing with an ache in my throat that she's right.